It is time for quick Om chanting. Take a comfortable position. Keep your backbone straight. Brahmanand. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Swastha.
Hello students. In the previous session we discussed the characteristics of the phylum Porifera. The animals of Porifera are commonly known as sponges. They are pore-bearing animals having many ostia, small minute pores, through which the water enters into the body cavity called spongiocele and exits through a large opening called osculum. This creates the canal system. Canal system serves for nutrition, respiration, excretion, even the reproduction. It takes out the fertilized eggs that develops into the free-swimming larva called amphiblastula and parenchyma. The animals are sedentary in nature, sessile, solitary or colonial. These are diploblastic, acoelomate, cell aggregate body plan. Yes, of course. The level of organization is cellular level of organization. They do not have tissue organ or organ system. Their unique characteristic is the canal system, water transport system. They reproduce, the animals reproduce asexually or sexually. Asexually by budding, fragmentation or gamete formation. They have the great power of regeneration, as even a fragment which consists of archaeocytes. They can develop into a new organism sexually by producing the eggs and sperms. They reproduce the new organism. The fertilization is internal, but development is external through the larval forms. So answer a few questions. Who coined the term Porifera? Robert Grant. Who coined? Robert Grant. The cavity of the sponge body is called spongiocele. Spongiocele, or what it is called? Paragastric cavity. Even any one of these you can write down. Paragastric cavity. Okay, anyone. The study of Poriferans is known as Parazoa. These are called polar cells. Yes, choanocytes. The pinacocytes, they are the cells of the ectoderm, and the choanocytes make the choanodermal, that is the endoderm. Name one larval form of Porifera. Already we discussed. What are the larval forms? Yes, parenchyma, or even you can write down the amphiblastula. Anyone. Which one of the following is not a class of Porifera? Hydrozoa, Calcarea, Hexactinellida, Demospongia. Yes, Hydrozoa. Which is known as Venus flower basket? Which one? Euplectella. You should read all. Euspongia, Branchia, Penna. So the Euplectella is known as Venus flower basket. In this session, we are going to discuss phylum Coelenterata. The term Coelenterata is derived from two Greek words, koilos and enteron. Koilos means Greek word koilos means hollow. Enteron means intestine. So term the Coelenterata are derived from the Greek words hollow intestine. That means it is having a hollow cavity, which is called coelenteron. The body consists of a cavity called coelenteron. And the term was coined by Leuckart. Leuckart coined the term Coelenterata in the year 1847. Is the cavity is known as coelenteron. The animals were formerly known as coelenterids, and the phylum is named so because of the cavity. Because of the cavity, coelenteron the phylum is named so. Phylum is named so, and animals were known as coelenterids. The enteron means intestine, or we can say gut, or gastrovascular cavity. Gastrovascular cavity means the cavity in which the function of stomach occurs. So we will discuss when we will discuss the digestion. You know, the coelenterids are also known as Cnidaria due to the presence of cnidocyte. These are also known as Cnidaria. The phylum is also known as Cnidaria. Animals are known as Cnidarians. These are also known as Cnidarians. Phylum is Cnidaria. What is the phylum? Phylum name is Cnidaria because of the presence of due to the presence of nidoblast or nidocytes. Presence of nidoblast or nidocytes. Nidocytes containing a giant organelle called nidocyst. Nidoblasts or nidocytes containing the nidocyst. So, what is this nidoblast or nidocyte? The nidoblast. Blast means immature cell. Cyte means cell. Cyst means a sac. Fluid containing sac or SAC. Fluid containing sac or we can say pouch. So, these nidoblasts are immature cells. They consist of the nidocyst and organelle. Nidocyst, a giant organelle. Nidocyst, a giant organelle with poisonous fluid, toxic fluid, and a barbed thread. How is this? The cell consists of, suppose these are present on actually tentacles. Nidocytes, due to the presence of nidocytes or nidoblasts, or we can say stinging cells. The nidocytes or nidoblasts means, just I am telling you the meaning. Nido and cyte or nidoblast. This nido means it came from the word nida or nide, the plural, nettle. Nettle means stinging. Okay, and these stinging cells, they consist of a poisonous capsule-like structure, a subcellular structure or organelle within the cell, subcellular within the cell. The structure is called organelle. So, it consists of the nidocytes or nidoblasts. Cyte means mature cell. Blast means immature cell. Write down. Cyte means mature cell. And blast means immature cell. That means blast is cyte. That means cell. And nida means nettle or stinging. Why it is stinging? Because of the presence of, because they contain, what they contain? They consist of the nidocyst. Nidocyst is a sac, a capsule-like structure, subcellular organelle. It is an organelle containing the toxin that is the poisonous fluid. Toxin means poisonous fluid that contains the organ consists of the poisonous fluid and a coiled barbed thread. Barb, the small stinging piercing. Okay, piercing structure. Stinging means what? Piercing. It can pierce and give pain. And to release the toxin, they sting with their thread, barbed thread. These are the synonyms: nidocyte, the stinging mature cell, nidoblast or nematoblast, the stinging immature cell, and nidocyst or nematocyst. Nidocyst or the nematocyst. They are the organelle containing poisonous fluid, toxin, or we can say poisonous fluid, and the coiled barbed thread. Let us see the picture. The nidocytes or the nematocyte stinging cells, these are present on tentacles. So where are the tentacles? You see, the body cavity is the coelenterra. There is a single opening into this cavity. It is called as mouth. That serves for entry and exit. For entry and exit. Or we can say a single opening which serves as mouth and anus. But there is no digestive system, remember. And this mouth is surrounded by tentacles. These are tentacles. Tentacles. Which are the tentacles? These are the tentacles. Okay, on tentacles, the nematocytes are present on the epidermis of the tentacles. On epidermis, in the epidermis, you see I am showing you over here, the epidermis or ectodermal layer, outer layer, that having the nidocytes. So on epidermis, the nidocytes or nidoblasts are present. Nidocytes, the stinging cells are present. And see, nidocyte is an explosive cell containing the giant organelle. This is the giant organelle, nidocyst, with a nidocyst, which is a nidocyst or nida, which is a fluid-filled capsular cell with poisonous fluid and a thread with barbs. You see, the thread is a coiled thread. You can write down over here, a coiled thread. A coiled thread with barbs. Nidae are used to capture because they are present on tentacles. Tentacles used to capture the prey. Tentacles with the Nidocytes used for anchorage means to hold the surface. Anchorage. Even for defense purpose from the predators. For defense from the predators. You see, this is the tentacle, epidermis or ectodermal layer. Epidermis means ectoderm. Ectodermal layer. Epidermis of tentacle. Okay, these are the epidermal cells, and in between the nidocytes are present. Nidocytes containing this nidosis, the organelle. Here I have shown you the nucleus, and in this organelle you see the poison is there. The poison is there along with the coil thread. Along with the coil thread with bonds. Okay, when it comes in contact with the prey or any predator, it just fires. The nidocytes used to fire. Nidocytes used to fire for the prey. Okay, and here it is the poison filled nida, and here it is emptied, and completely here the thread is stretched. These bonds are present which pierce the body of the prey, and then the toxin is released. Toxin means poisonous fluid is released to paralyze it, and in this manner the coelenterids get the defense from the predators also. Okay, so tentacles, where the tentacles are present? Surrounding the mouth, and mouth, below the mouth, this is mouth, and below the mouth this dome-shaped structure. This is the dome-shaped structure. Here is the mouth. This dome-shaped structure is known as this one, hypostome. It is known as hypostome. Hypostome means, okay, below the mouth, hypostome is there. Hypostome, just you have to understand the meanings. Hypo means below, stome means derived from the mouth. Below the mouth. Below. Hypo means below. Means below the mouth. What is that? Below the mouth. What is that? That structure is called hypostome. Okay? And the body is having the aboral mouth, aboral and oral and aboral. You know, the oral wall is related to mouth. There is a term oral. Oral is related to mouth. So body is having the oral end and aboral end. Which one is? This one is oral end. This side is oral end and this side is aboral, opposite of the oral. Aboral end. This is the bird. Okay, this is the example of Hydra is given here. Another coelenterate, Aurelia, commonly known as jellyfish. The coelenterids called cnidarians. The cnidarians all are aquatic, mostly marine, a few are freshwater. living in fresh water. They are tissue level of organization. They come under tissue level of organization. They show radial symmetry. The larval forms show bilateral symmetry. They are acoelomates. The body plan is blind sac body plan, two germ layers, diploblastic, ectoderm and endoderm. Ectoderm here in these animals called epidermis and endoderm is called gastrodermis, as it makes the lining of gastrovascular cavity, and the outer layer is called epidermis, and in between these two layers is called the mesoglia. This is epidermis and this is endodermis. Endoderm called gastrodermis. Endoderm called gastrodermis, as it make the lining of gastrovascular cavity. What is this? This cavity is known as gastrovascular cavity. Okay. Gastrovascular cavity of coelenteron, and as the endoderm make the lining of gastrovascular cavity, that's why it is called gastrodermis. In between these two, the layer is called mesoglia, non-cellular jelly-like layer called mesoglia. I am writing here, see, maybe mesoglia. mesoglia, mesoglia. Okay, and this is the place, and this is the cavity, body cavity, coelenteron. This is the example of hydra is given over here. The ectoderm is called epidermis and endoderm is called gastrodermis. There are on the gastrodermis and epidermis, the nerve nets are found. Nerve nets are the primitive nervous system, the beginning of the nervous system. As we know, they link the organ and organ system. These animals are tissue level of organization, shows radial symmetry, but larval forms show bilateral symmetry. Adults show radial symmetry. They have a blind sac body plan, acoelomate, diploblastic means two germ layers, on epidermis and gastrodermis. There are nerve nets are found. Nerve nets, neurons, suppose this is the cyton, and these are the short processes. These are called dendrites. This is cyton. Then there are number of neurons. They are interconnected. Here the neurons are interconnected. These are called nerve nets. system, you can see nervous system is primitive type consisting of the nerve net found on epidermis and gastrodermis. Epidermis and gastrodermis. The other processes like the digestion, it is extracellular as well as intracellular. That means the digestion takes place inside this cavity. So extracellular, outside the cell. That means within a tube, within a tract. Is in our case, digestion takes place inside the alimentary canal. Here it is not the alimentary canal but having the cavity that known as gastrovascular cavity. And even some digestion takes place inside the cell. That's why intracellular digestion. Respiration and excretion, these are occurring through the body surface, general body surface. Respiration, exchange of gases, excretion, the release of the removal of nitrogenous waste, that is in the form of ammonia. Because they remove the nitrogenous waste, the waste material as ammonia, these animals are called ammonotelic. Actually, to know organ systems, is they excrete ammonia. So, animals called as they excrete ammonia, animals are called ammonotelic animals. So, nervous system with the primitive type with the nerve nets. There are also sense organs like ocelli, statocyst. Ocelli, the ocelli is the plural. The ocellus is the singular. Means simple eye. Simple eye. Simple eye is found in Aurelia, jellyfishes. Statocyst, it is the word itself meant for a fluid containing structure. It is found on epidermis. Okay, epidermal cells present surrounding means a fluid containing some chemicals known as catechol. This is fluid and some sensory hairs. Present surrounding this structure. These are meant for, you see, the green colored ones, the sensory hair. Sensory hairs. Okay, this is a fluid-filled structure. Cyst means fluid-filled pouch. So epidermal pouch, epidermal sac containing fluid and surrounded by hair-like structure, balancing organ. Statocyst is a balancing organ. Statocyst, it is a balancing organ. Balance, swimming. Balance the swimming of the organism. The coelenterous. The reproduction is asexual by body. How it is? Asexual by body. sexual by producing eggs and sperms. They have the great power of regeneration because when the this body is detached from the main organism, then it is developed into a new one. So great power of regeneration, again generate, created. And eggs and sperms, eggs are fertilized by the sperms. Eggs and sperms, these are present in the, means produced by the testis and ovary. Testis and ovary present in same organism. So suppose this is a hydra, means here are the testis and ovary are present on this. Testis, ES plural, ovary. Testis and ovary both are present in the same organism. That's why these animals are, already we have used in the porifera, hermaphrodite. What is this? These animals are called hermaphrodite. Fertilization is external, outside the body, in the water. In the water. Eggs and sperms are released into the water and fertilization done outside the body. Development is indirect through free swimming larvae. The larval forms are ephyra or planular larvae. Okay, animals exhibit dimorphism, two type of structure, that are polypoid form and medusoid form. Polyp and medusa. They are polyp and medusa. The polyp form is fixed one, fixed. They are sessile. Whereas the medusa form is free swimming. Okay, so Aurelia is a medusa. This is a medusa, whereas hydra is a polyp. The medusa are also known as medusoid form. Polyp are also known as polypoid form. And medusa are known as medusoid form. So, what we get from this? There are basically two forms: polyp form, polypoid form, and medusoid form. Even this polymorphism by some animals like Physalia. Physalia exhibit, write down, Physalia exhibit polymorphism. Physalia is known as Portuguese vein of war. Life history exhibits alternation of generation. That means in one generation they produce, asexually they produce the medusa form. This is the polyp form. Asexually by bonding produces the medusa form, the freely swimming form, and the medusa forms, they produces eggs and sperms, different animals. Okay, even though they are having in the hermaphrodite, they produces the eggs and sperm, fertilization occurs, then the planular larva develops into polyp. So the polyp asexually by sexual reproduction or asexually gives rise the medusa, and medusa sexually produces the polyp. This is called alternation of generation. One generation they are producing, say, sexually. In the next generation, they are producing the offspring sexually. This is called alternation of generation or metagenesis. What these are called metagenesis or alternation of generation. Okay, and these animals are of three types on the basis of whether they are the polyform or medusa or they exhibit both. There are some corals. Corals, they are completely the polypoid form. The animals are the some cylindrids are called nidarians are called corals. Corals they secrete they make their exoskeleton. They they release calcium carbonate to form their exoskeleton. Okay, they make their exoskeleton on the basis of their morphology, that is whether they are polyp or medusa form. They are of three types: the hydrozoa, scyphozoa and anthozoa. Hydrozoa, they exhibit both. They show the alternation of generation. Okay, and these are predominant, the mainly medusa form, and the anthozoa mostly the polyp form. The corals we are using as the ornament, red stone. Okay, they are found on the ocean floor.
What you are looking at, these colorful structures, these are the coral reef. These are the exoskeletons secreted by the animals' corals. Okay.
What we discussed in this session, the characteristic features of phylum Coelenterata or Cnidaria. These are diploblastic, the tissue grade organization, blind sac body plan, acoelomates. They show radial symmetry, but the larval forms exhibit bilateral symmetry. They basically they exhibit two forms, that is polyp and medusa form, and the unique feature is having the nidocytes or nidoblast or nematocyte or nematoblast consisting of nidocyst or nematocyst on the tentacles. And another unique character, they are exhibiting alternation of generation or metagenesis. So there is three classes: hydrozoa, scyphozoa, anthozoa. Hydrozoa like Hydra, Obelia, Physalia. Physalia the Portuguese man of war. The Scyphozoa, under Scyphozoa, Aurelia the jellyfish, and in Anthozoa, Adamsia, corals, Gorgonia, etc. So write a detailed note on Cnidarians as well as short note with 5 to 6 sentences with important points on phylum Coelenterata, and practice for one more question. Okay, thank you.